In the forest, the ivy doesn't attack the tree. It just climbs it. It hugs it until the tree can no longer breathe. Some people in your life are exactly like that ivy. Continues how to grow. Silas is learning that his workshop is finally buzzing with potential. His new inventions are working, and the light is returning to his corner of the Rust Belt. But with success comes a new kind of visitor. Meet Vance. Vance doesn't bring tools. He doesn't bring ideas. He only brings needs. Silas finds himself spending more time solving Vance's problems than his own. He thinks he's being a good person, but he's actually becoming a host. A success mindset is a garden, and if you don't pull the weeds of self-interest, they will eventually choke your own harvest. Silas looks at his energy bar. It's draining, and he hasn't even started his own work yet. Vance always has a great opportunity for Silas that always benefits Vance. "Hey Silas, if you fix my bike, I'll tell everyone about your shop," he says. But when Silas needs help moving a heavy engine, Vance is suddenly busy. This is the hallmark of the parasite. They see every relationship as a transaction where they must win. They use words like collaboration, but practice extraction. Silas watches as Vance takes a tool from the bench without asking. To Vance, Silas's hard work is a public resource. A success mindset is built on the law of reciprocity, the fair exchange of value. When the exchange is always one way, it's not a partnership, it's a robbery. Barnaby growls softly. He doesn't see a friend. He sees a predator in a hoodie. By the afternoon, Silas is spent. His hands are shaking not from labor, but from the mental fatigue of carrying someone else's weight. He realizes that Vance is an energy vampire. These people don't just take your time, they take your emotional capacity to create. They leave you with the scrap metal of your day while they walk away with the gold. Silas looks at his own unfinished project, the Mast of his dreams. It's sitting in the corner, cold and silent. Every small favor for Vance was a brick taken from Silas's own wall. He's starting to understand what the great statesman Zeng Guofeng meant. If you cooperate with those who only seek self-interest, your ruin is inevitable. The ruined factory outside isn't just made of brick. It's made of people who gave too much to those who offered nothing. Why is it so hard for Silas to say no? Science explains it through social mirroring. We are evolved to be helpful because in the past it ensured our survival. But your brain also has a cheater detection system. When Silas helps Vance and gets nothing in return, his brain's insula, the part that processes disgust and pain, lights up. He is literally feeling social pain. To maintain a success mindset, you must listen to that biological disgust. It's your survival instinct telling you that the ivy is reaching for your throat. You aren't being mean by setting boundaries. You are ensuring the survival of the tree. Cooperation is a biological miracle, but one-way extraction is a biological error. Silas looks at Barnaby. The dog only shares his loyalty with those who protect the pack. Why can't Silas do the same? The ivy doesn't think it's doing anything wrong. It's just growing. But the tree has a choice to be a host or to be a forest. CTA. If you've ever been the giver in a world of takers, it's time to find your pack. Subscribe to Aletheia Flow and let's prune the darkness together. Continues. Vance returns. He wants another favor, this time a big one. He wants Silas to give him his first prototype to show some investors. Silas looks at the machine. It represents 6 months of sweat, hunger, and Barnaby's shared silence. He realizes that if he gives this away, he isn't helping a friend. He's feeding a parasite. He feels the success mindset finally kicking in. It's the voice of self-respect. He stands up straight, his messy hair caught in the wind. No, Vance. Not today. Not ever. Silas remembers the wisdom of Teng Kwok Fien. Never walk a long road with someone who only looks at their own feet. If Vance only muko lori ich choban thon, Silas will always be the one carrying the map, the water, and the burden. A success mindset is about strategic alignment. You cannot reach the mountain peak with a backpack full of stones you didn't put there. As Vance sputters in anger, Silas feels a strange sense of peace. He's not angry, he's just finished. He understands that the parasite thrives on your guilt. They make you feel selfish for wanting to keep what you've built. But true selfishness is expecting others to work for your dreams. Silas looks at the door. It's time to clear the air. It's time to let the ivy find another wall. Vance's reaction is revealing. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't offer to help. Instead, he turns heartless. He calls Silas arrogant and cold. This is the parasite's last defense projection. When they can no longer use you, they try to destroy your reputation. But Silas is immune. He has a success mindset that is anchored in reality, not the opinions of those who don't contribute. He watches Vance leave, taking the negative energy with him. The workshop suddenly feels twice as large. The air feels lighter. Silas realizes that the energy he was donating to Vance was actually his own creative fuel. He's been running his engine with a leak. Now, for the first time, the system is closed. The power is staying where it belongs. To grow, Silas must build a filter. A success mindset isn't just about who you let in. It's about what you keep out. He starts a new system in his workshop, the law of contribution. If you want a spark, you must bring some wood. If you want a light, you must help build the mast. This isn't about being unkind. It's about being just. He spends the afternoon refining his prototype, and without Vance's interruptions, the work flows like a river. Barnaby is asleep in a sunbeam, finally relaxed. Silas realizes that his most valuable resource wasn't his tools or his copper coils, it was his focus. And focus is the one thing a parasite cannot stand, because it requires them to look at their own emptiness. Your energy is your destiny. Don't let a parasite write your story. Continues. As the sun sets, a new visitor arrives. It's the old mechanic Miller and a young apprentice. They don't ask for favors. They bring a box of high-grade gaskets. Thought you might need these for your generator, Silas, Miller says. Silas offers them some coffee and shows them his progress. They stay for an hour sharing ideas, fixing a loose valve together. This is the true pack, a success mindset multiplied by other success mindsets. The light in the workshop is no longer just coming from the bulbs. It's coming from the shared fire of three people who all seek to grow. Silas looks at the empty spot where Vance used to lean. He doesn't miss him. He's too busy building the future. How to grow. You grow by realizing that you are not a host for the lazy. You are an architect for the brave. A success mindset is the courage to prune the ivy so the oak can reach the sun. Silas stands outside his workshop as the stars come out. The generator is humming a steady, honest tune. The light is spreading to the next street. He knows now that the heartless, the liars, and the parasites were all just tests. They were the gravity trying to keep him in the rust. But he has built a mast of integrity, a gear of trust, and a forest of mutual growth. He is no longer just Silas from the basement. He is the flow. Build your mast. Master your flow. Take a breath and let life carry you. Until next time.